Now, we're joined this morning by Gemma O'Neill. She's living locally. Gemma, we've had Gemma in before talking about her work with the cocaine initiative in Bushy Park. Gemma, a totally different topic this morning. You're here this morning to talk about your trip to Electric Picnic last weekend.
Yes, good morning. Thank
Morning,
you for
Gemma.
having me on, Marie and Trish.
We want the inside story now. But I suppose, you know, and we talked about it here this morning before you come in, most of us only hear about Electric Picnic and we see the pictures on the television, the muck and the dirt and the bringing your stuff in with wheelie bags and the tents are just left and abandoned afterwards
you
and all
leave
this.
everything behind you. But
So,
it's not all that.
From what we've heard from you over the weekend since you came back, it's there's another side to it. So tell us your experience.
Yeah, I suppose they try to get the headlines with different stories and things, and sometimes scare people away, I think, a little bit. But no, I suppose it's an amazing weekend. It's the biggest festival in Ireland. This was my second time going, so I was there 6 years ago. I had bought tickets to go the following year, but unfortunately COVID came, so it was cancelled for 2 years then after that. But I had always said we'll go again, and I had a couple of friends that had, I suppose there was a lot of interest when you see all of the headlines and hear people's stories from when it was on last year. It gets everyone talking, obviously, like ourselves now, about the whole festival. So we had said, you know what, we'd love to go again. They do trick you a little bit. Once the festival is on, the tickets go on sale 2 days later. So it's on everybody's mind. We're all talking about it. And
It's all sold out for next year. I heard on the radio.
So
and they don't know what acts. Are confirmed to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was up early Wednesday morning to get my tickets for me and my friends. So I was very lucky to get tickets. You get a loyalty scheme with them as well. So you get a discount code when you continue to repurchase your tickets.
Okay.
So we were very lucky. We are all go again for next year, and we were not even over or recovered from last year.
Still recovering from last weekend.
But it's a good way of doing it, and I suppose that's what got us back interested in going again, was all the talk and everything about it last year. So there was 6 of us that hit off this year. We were a little bit, I suppose, glamorous. We feel maybe we're a little bit old for camping on the ground. So we prepaid for glamping. So we actually glamped off-site. So you can glamp on-site at the festival itself, or you can glamp off-site. There's a local brewery that does glamping all year round. So we went and stayed with them just for a little bit of a more relaxed, quieter, tranquil experience.
And just to cut in there, that particular man actually featured on, was it Nationwide or something I was watching the other day. He has a brewery and he can't sell it at Electric Picnic, but he can sell it in his campsite. And we didn't realise that's where you were staying at the same time. And he does the glamping. It's very close.
Yeah. And then you have a shuttle bus then, is it from?
Yeah, so they bussed us over and back. It was only maybe about 3-4 kilometres from the festival. So we were dropped off at the pedestrian gate and we walked in there very easily. The glamping was great. We had there was beds for us. They were dressed. We had hot showers, toilets. We had a
luxury.
Yes, exactly. Pamper parlours.
5-star.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, well, compared to others, definitely.
Yes,
and showers, toilets, a cafe.
Yeah, cafe. There was obviously the brewery was open, so you could go in and have their locally brewed beer, and there was a little restaurant and stuff there. So you had everything that you needed. And again, I suppose you still had the kind of camping experience at the same time.
Yes.
So we were there for 3 nights, and then obviously we had, I suppose, stayed at the glamping, and then we're in early. We used to go in, I suppose, probably maybe around 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the day, and you were there up until I think the last act finishes about 4:30 in the morning. So you could stay.
And what time does it start? Does the music start?
So the music, I suppose they have different things on during the day, like they have podcasts on, cooking shows, all different things on from usually 11 o'clock in the morning. So I suppose there's so much to do all day long. I suppose you're encouraged to download their app on your phone.
I was going to say, was there a leaflet or anything to tell you what was on where?
So they have an app on your phone which works without internet, which is great because internet and phone coverage can be very scarce there just with the amount of people. So we were able to see, I suppose, in the weeks coming up to it, the schedules that were there. You could go in, like all of the different acts and shows that you wanted to see, and it created a schedule for you. So then each day you'd get up and say, okay, these are all the things that I want to go to today. This is where they are, and you were able to see the map and see everything there. So it was really, really easy to navigate, and I suppose it's something that you could prepare yourself for. So we knew as a group there was somebody I wanted to see at 2 o'clock, there was someone else you wanted to see at 2:30, so we were able to kind of, move ourselves around and plan ourselves accordingly.
Organised.
So you got to see everybody you wanted to see, but then there was so much, I suppose, smaller acts, loads of little hidden gems and things like that, different areas where we were just kind of walking around trying to find, I suppose, our footing with the area, and we were coming into all these different tents. We found a lovely Irish pub, that there was trad on, there was all these different places that you could go to see, I suppose, any act at all that you could imagine.
Okay.
Yeah, so any kind of music at all. You could,
Yeah, so I suppose
whatever
it's-
your interest.
Yeah, so it's music and arts as well. So there's a lot more than just music itself. So like that, there was cooking shows. I don't know, did you see the clip of Nevin Maguire had a bit of a rave during his cooking demonstration? It was looked like it was really enjoyable. So they had different things like that on, and then you could go to kind of poetry, spoken word. There was a lot of wellness areas. You know, you could do your cold plunge and jacuzzis, things like that.
And I saw Nicola Tallant, a journalist from,
Yes.
you know, well-known criminal journalist, we call her, had a podcast or something
her
as well.
podcast
She was there, yeah.
Yeah, she was on what we had planned to go to her, but we weren't out of bed, unfortunately, to go to her.
Too early in the
We'd
morning.
be big fans of her. But yeah, so she was there, and they all just had little segments, and you could just go and sit down and watch and kind of enjoy it. I suppose the overall idea of it is just to kind of immerse yourself in all things kind of music, arts, culture, things like that, and that's exactly what it is. I suppose it was eye-opening for us. I was 21 the last time I went, so I didn't care too much about these things.
You're older and wiser
But
now, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I suppose for us now, we really enjoyed it, and you kind of see, like, you know, the amount of acts that are available. You know, I suppose they're really encouraging of kind of smaller local acts, things like that. Like I have a friend I went to school with, and he's just a small up and coming DJ, would be playing to maybe, you know, 40, 50 people at the weekends. But he went last year, he applied and he got to go, and he was on and had a full set for an hour on one of the smaller stages. So it is good,
big thing.
you know,
It
to
helps
involve
them.
everybody,
Yeah.
and you know, you have all sorts there. So it's a really, really enjoyable weekend.
You're
Yeah.
selling
And
it.
it's all in one big field, 600 acres, is
Yes.
it? It's just so you just can literally walk from one to the other.
Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose for us, camping off-site, so the whole 600 acres is including all the camping,
camps as
glamping,
well, yeah.
caravans, things like that. So that's everything. But for us, I suppose we didn't need to go to a lot of the areas. So I suppose for us, it was really accessible. So we came, it's literally in the town of Stradbally. You had a 1 minute walk and you were in the town going into the super
brilliant.
value.
Oh,
So it was
yeah.
really handy for us. We got dropped off in the middle of the town, and we got the pedestrian exit, the entrance in. So it was 2-3 minute walk into the main arena, and then you had all of your different stages. So it was all, I suppose it's not one big open area. There's a lot of forestry and things, and
Yes.
you kind of have to go and explore to
Okay.
find some of the things as well.
And the glamping site where you were staying, they had a shuttle bus which went regularly. You weren't waiting for ages
no,
for it or anything.
we said that we never waited all weekend. It was always there, and you know,
Okay.
if later in the evening when it was a bit darker, they'd throw a few extra in as well, rather than you waiting
Yes,
for the
yes,
next bus.
yeah.
But the bus
Okay.
was available then up until 3 a.m. If you wanted to stay a bit later, which we did one of the nights, there was taxis then to bring us. So
Okay.
there was a full taxi rank there. It was all, I suppose, gated off for us, well
Yeah.
signposted and everything. So I suppose there's a lot of people that don't stay there, people locally. Portlaoise is about 20-25 minutes away, so anyone that wants to even stay in a hotel, doesn't want to do the glamping or anything, you can do that, and they'll bus you over and back as well. There's a lot of shuttle buses to all different areas and villages around the place.
God, there's some organising.
Isn't there?
in
It sounds to
in
be
the
very
whole
well
lot. It sounds to
organised.
be-
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, when you see, I suppose, the whole production of it, like we had said when we came away from it, we never waited for food, we never waited for drink, anything like that. Toilets, you waited for nothing. Everything was so clean. It was so well ran. It was amazing.
Isn't that brilliant to hear?
Yeah.
Because, as we've said, we see the pictures on the television and they come with the wheelie bins with the black bags, or else they've just walked away, left everything after them. And it's normally muck and dirt. But I believe the gang of you that went all brought wellies and boots, and that you all stayed in your runners all weekend.
Yeah, we got a few texts being like, "Oh, I hope you're enjoying the rain." You know, the weather wasn't too great down here in County Clare, but the weather was absolutely perfect up there. We had a bit of rain Saturday morning, which we were expecting. We had the wet gear ready and our wellies and things, but we actually didn't need them by the time we had got up and showered. The rain was done for the
Brilliant.
day. Drizzled a little bit on Saturday, but it was during the show of Kneecap that were playing on main stage,
Okay.
and Amble were after them. So we were so kind of immersed in that no one really
The rain
cared.
just saw you.
No, you didn't even
Yeah.
notice, and you weren't wet. It was a bit of drizzle.
Yes,
nothing
yeah,
major
nothing
at all.
major.
So anyone that didn't get tickets that was hoping for a big washout, we didn't get that.
That's great. And families go, I just
Yeah.
saw on television where young kids had been at it.
Yeah, it's a really big thing for families, which we were surprised about one of the days when we were leaving and walking out. They had changed the exit, so we had to walk a different way, and they brought us down through the family campsite, and you'd see these big, huge camping tents. Obviously, families that would camp a lot, probably.
Yeah.
They were the size of some people's houses. They were absolutely
Really?
huge.
Okay.
And you see people going around, small kids, as small as babies, going around with ear defenders on them, of all ages. I think they don't allow the older teenagers, maybe from 15 to 18. Obviously,
Well, that's understandable.
hard to monitor. So that's the way it works. But they get their family tickets, so it's a little bit cheaper for them the more that they have in the family. They have family areas, so they call it the mini picnic. So it's playgrounds for kids, it's acts that are there for small children, things like that. And you see a lot of people had the little trolleys.
Carts.
The carts to bring them around, and people pulling their kids around in the carts, because obviously it's a lot of walking and stuff.
And they were
tired.
They were in all the big multinational supermarkets not long before, like the festival carts they were calling them. Yeah.
So it's really good. I was surprised with the amount of families that were there. I was kind of looking at people pulling the kids around. I said, I don't know if that was me. I probably would have left them at home, so I wouldn't have to be pulling them around.
Course,
but maybe for local families and things like that, and people that are really interested in the music and arts, it's an enjoyable experience. And we've seen a lot of kids out having a really good time. With the main acts and stuff that were up on their parents' shoulders and stuff. It was really enjoyable to see.
Oh, it just sounds
It
fantastic.
sounds great. You're selling it very well, Gemma. Yeah.
Well, the tickets are sold out now, so unfortunately.
So maybe we'd get in as maybe Scariff Community Radio could go live from there next year, Gemma.
We'd go as volunteers with them. If it sounds so good.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you can volunteer there as well. You get a free ticket for the weekend if you volunteer for 2 shifts with them. I've seen that online as well. So you have to do 2 8-hour shifts in whatever it is of picking up rubbish or working in the bar or whatever. Usually kind of Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, and you're there for the whole weekend. So depending on what time your shifts are, you could go and enjoy the whole festival as well.
And I believe, Gemma, that stuff wasn't that expensive. Now, I suppose most festival goers, including yourselves, would bring your own maybe alcoholic beverages with you, but that it wasn't overly expensive.
No. I suppose an unfortunate thing we realised after we were speaking to one of the food vendors that were there, we did find the food a little bit expensive.
Okay.
Even like there was a Supermax there, and compared to our local Supermax, it was a bit inflated from that. But we actually were chatting to one of the vendors, and they were saying that unfortunately Electric Picnic do take a percentage of their takings. So that's why they put it up then. So we said, look, fair enough. It's not
When you're away,
exactly.
I mean, you had to get the food anyway.
Alcohol, things like that, they weren't that expensive. You are encouraged to well, I suppose the rule is that you aren't to bring anything in with you, but we were bringing in food, snacks, a couple of drinks, you could bring your water bottle. There was a lot of stations to refill your water bottle, things like that, just to make it easier on yourself. And I suppose for a lot of people that were camping and glamping there, you could easily leave the arena area, go back out to your tent where you had all your food and drink and whatever you needed. And there was also food vendors and stuff out in those areas as well, so you could set yourself up for the day and go back into the arena then. But what we did was just go in for the day and stay there when we were there.
And Jimmy, you felt safe at every stage? There was no trouble anywhere, and there was nothing taken, or
No, absolutely not. We were surprised, I suppose, with the amount of stewards that were there, the amount of guards that were visible. Our group found 2 different phones, and like that, phones weren't really working. So people, I suppose at times you could try ring someone but it wouldn't ring. So we were a little bit unsure, I suppose, at the time what to do. At one point actually my friend was with me, and he found a phone on the ground, and he's like, I'll just go up to a local guard and give it to the guard, and the guard will bring it to. There was a full lost and found. Tapped a guard on the shoulder, and it was a local guard that he had known. Turned around and was like, hi, how are you? From Clare, from West Clare.
Small world.
From the same little village in Quilty. So it was really, really funny. I suppose it's a small world. You do meet people that you know. And I myself found a phone as well, and I just kept it because I suppose I wanted the reassurance that person would get it back.
Absolutely.
When they phoned the next morning, I said, look, I have it. I went and met them and gave them back the phone. So
safest thing to do.
Absolutely. Even our own glam site, there was security there for us, so we had power banks, my iPad, our food and drink, everything was in it.
Safe.
It was really, really safe. Like that, you couldn't get into the glam site without having the wristband to get in there, and there was security going around then all night. So it was really safe. I suppose we never saw a fight. We didn't see anyone raising their voice. Everyone was so happy and enjoyed the weekend. We were even saying at the end, anyone that even bumped off you was straight away apologising. There wasn't any, I suppose, nothing uncomfortable. No aggro at all. Nothing uncomfortable there for anybody. So everyone was just having a really good time, and there was nothing negative, nothing malicious at all. So it was really nice to be able to enjoy that too.
I wonder, is it mostly Irish that go, or would there some from other countries. Do they come
Yeah.
to
I
it,
suppose
or-
that's what we noticed as well, that it was majority Irish people.
yeah.
We didn't see many kind of, I suppose, people from different nationalities and stuff like that you usually would at different kind of
Yes,
events.
yeah.
So I suppose, I don't know, did that kind of add to the, I suppose, the atmosphere that was there,
Yeah.
just having the real pure Irish culture, and everyone kind of just gets up and gets on with it. You'll be grand, don't worry about the outfits.
Everyone's a friend, yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it felt like. Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah.
I suppose it's the last hurrah tour for a lot of people. It's the end of the summer, isn't it? It's the last
yeah.
weekend.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Except the primary school teachers, they're not allowed to go of the way it falls. We had two friends that were primary school teachers that were due to come but couldn't with the way that
The way
school
it fell.
starts.
Oh,
So
okay.
last year was a little bit earlier. That was to suit
Okay.
Coldplay that was on. There was a lot of Coldplay concerts, so
yes.
they didn't want to overlap. But it's always the last weekend in August, which
Okay.
now unfortunately overlaps with
Oh,
the
Because the
schools.
schools are back, of course.
Yeah, but
okay.
even for us, it was nice to come home, put away the suitcase, and say, "I'm not going anywhere now for
Yeah.
for a long time after the whole summer."
That's it.
Yeah.
And can you go for just one day, or is the ticket just for the weekend?
So the main ones that they sell are the full
full
weekend
weekend,
ticket.
yeah.
Local people can get day passes.
passes.
So
Okay.
we had found that people that we had a friend that just came up on the Sunday, he couldn't come any other
Yeah.
time, and put it into one of the groups on Facebook, and a local person gave him their Sunday wristband. So
very good.
they used to be able to sell tickets for the Friday, Saturday,
pass,
Sunday,
yeah.
but they found that people were going in Friday and not leaving again. So
Okay.
they found it hard to police.
Of course, it
but
would
for
be.
local
Yeah.
people, they know that they're going
Yes.
home, so they can get the
Very
day
good.
passes. But for
Okay.
anybody not in the area, it is the full weekend that you buy the ticket for.
It just sounds like you would want to go for the whole weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if you had a bit of comfort in
Yeah.
your glamping
Yeah.
tent.
And if the weather was fine.
Yeah, and even in regards to the price, like the main weekend ticket is €310, including your fees and charges and things. And I suppose we find that fantastic value for what you're getting. Like if you were to go, I suppose I went to Coldplay 2 years ago. I paid €240 for one ticket.
Yeah.
You know, any concert you're going to now, it's about €100 for any kind
It
of
is,
main
it is,
headliner.
yeah.
Like Hosier was there. Chapel Row and things like that. So I suppose they're quite expensive to go and see.
Yeah.
So for us, I suppose,
In the greater scheme of things, when you
it
think
is
about
absolutely,
it. Yeah.
and like that, because I had the loyalty thing, then I got €65 off it, so it's €240
Very good.
for my ticket
Okay.
next year. And I suppose again, we're
That
like,
was brilliant,
all you're
really.
going to see for that
For
amount
that,
is
the
amazing.
amount of groups you
And
get to
To
see.
qualify for the loyalty, how many times have you to have been before, Gemma?
You have to have bought tickets 3 times. So
Okay.
I have been twice, but as I said,
during COVID.
I had the tickets
Okay.
bought, so
Yes,
it counted
yes.
as a third time.
Oh, very
So
good.
once you've been 3 times, then you'll
You
have
qualify for it.
for the loyalty
That's
code
very
for following
good.
you.
That's
It is,
very
yeah,
good.
and it's a good incentive for people
is.
to keep going
Of
and
course.
stuff like that. Yeah.
And Gemma, I believe Dermot was telling me that some of the local scout groups were there, and that if people rocked up with a tent, not in the glamping side, but in the general tent area or the general area, that they'd put up your tent for you for a couple of €20 or
Yeah,
something.
absolutely. Like there was a lot of different groups and things that were there, you know, making money
Money,
and fundraising.
yes.
So the scouts were one. They were there putting their skills to work, pitching tents. And I know if I had a tent, I'd be paying them a lot of
Absolutely.
money
Yeah.
to put it up
Delighted.
for me.
Yeah.
I'd be delighted to
And
get
of course,
help.
the local GA group then collecting the cans.
Yeah,
and
yeah. So there
bottles.
was a lot of different groups going around. I seen another one this morning of a local GA group, to Stradbally, had raised, I think it was 13,000. The Meath Camogie Club had raised
Okay.
15,000. There was loads of different groups going on. Like you can go in as a makeup artist and work for the weekend. You
Okay.
can hairdressers, things like that as well. So there's loads there for, I suppose, people to benefit from it.
Bit
as
of
well.
initiative.
Yeah.
And sorry, getting back to the camogie and the hurling, that was for the youngsters collecting the
The-
bottles and the
yeah,
recycling
the
the bottles
return
and the
scheme.
cans, the return
Yeah,
scheme, yeah.
so all around the place you could see there was bins, there was general bins, and then there was bins put up beside them of
Okay.
these are your general bins. But if you wanted to donate your cans and things to whatever, they were all, every area had a different sign on them. So
okay.
this was a Camogie Club, that was this group, that group.
Okay.
So, you know, going up to, you made the decision if you were going to,
Yes,
to do it or
yeah.
not. And
And
it was always those ones that were overflowing and the bins were beside
Of
them
course.
were empty, which it is nice to see.
It's a
and
great
I suppose
idea.
Great,
It
'cause
kept-
it's money going to a good cause.
yeah,
You know,
and it kept the area really clean,
Clean,
as well.
yes,
We saw
yeah.
people going around
Yeah.
picking up cans at all times. They were going around with the pickers and the
So
bags.
everybody benefited, didn't they,
yeah,
really?
yeah, absolutely. I think
some organising in all
Oh,
of it, isn't there?
absolutely.
Just-
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
sounds so well
Fantastic.
organised, because I suppose I personally, I don't know about you, Trish, would always have the impression, it's a muck fest, you know, really, because that's all you ever saw. But this year,
bins overflowing.
Yes.
Yeah, no, and I have to say, like, the way, obviously, you know, they've gotten used to it now. I suppose it's the 21st year. This year was the 21st year of it. So it's just so well run now. You have literally, you don't have one bad thing to say about it when you come out of it like that. It's clean, it's safe, it's enjoyable. You know, everyone benefits from it, whether it's small artists getting, I suppose, their music or their poetry or whatever it may be out there, local communities, you know, benefiting financially with fundraising, and obviously any of the punters going then get to have a really good time. So yeah.
It sounds really, really nice.
Fantastic,
yeah, it really does now. You've sold it. And were there any particular bands? I mean, you said you've bought tickets for next year already, but you don't even know who's going to be performing.
I couldn't believe that when I heard it during the week. I was going, the tickets are all gone.
Where's the logic there?
Yeah,
But you know it'll be good, is it?
You just have to have faith that it'll be good. And we kind of said, look, it's better to have the tickets and be selling them than to be looking for them, you know, that kind of way. But yeah, the usually the main lineup will be announced around May time, so everyone is kind of, you know, biting their nails waiting for that one. And then I suppose as the summer goes on, depending on, you know, I suppose what's going on, they can announce new acts. Like this year, Amble and Kingfisher, which are, I suppose, two more up and coming Irish bands, had gotten really popular as the summer was going on. So they added them to the lineup and they put them on the main stage, which is really, really good, as well as Kneecap, the Irish rap band as well. They were there main stage Saturday afternoon at 3:00. So they're, I suppose, they do it really well. Of this will get everyone up out of the bed and into the arena first, and have, you know,
just get the timing right.
Start the day really to be in and ready for 3:00 for that band. So we were in there at 2:00 ready for the day, and we probably would have been a bit more leisurely other than that.
Yes,
you know,
of course.
Naturally, you were aware
of
to
it.
miss the good bands, though.
Exactly.
You know, so
and then. So I suppose you just kind of have to have faith. But again, there were so many bands that we saw. I suppose, like, my favourite bands that I enjoyed the most over the weekend, I'd never heard of them before.
Really?
You know, we were out for a walk and we went to that Irish pub. It was Unpubble Gaelga, and just walked in and there was just one band were finishing and another were starting, and we were like, oh, we'll just wait here. And it was this young, they're an Irish country kind of, I suppose, little bit techno kind of band. It's a bit unusual to try and describe, but they're called Clada. Now, my partner Dermot had heard of them, couldn't believe his eyes when they walked out. He was like, you'd pay 30-40 euro to go see this band, they're really up and coming. And we had a great time. We were there it was an hour slot with them. It was really, really enjoyable, and came away from them, follow on social media. We'll probably go see them again, you know. So like that for different bands, it's, I suppose, really, it does. And I suppose there was so much that we got to see that I would never have heard of, and they probably wouldn't have crossed my path.
It's a place to go for bands that,
it is.
You know,
to say that you performed at Electric Picnic must be huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how many people in total? I know there's so many, you know, amounts being rallied around. How many people would have attended over the weekend? Have you an idea?
So the capacity for tickets was 80,000.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't include anyone that works, vendors, anything like that. So they have different kind of campsites and areas and stuff for those people. So anyone just attending to enjoy the festival was 80,000.
So it could be up to 100,000 altogether.
Yeah, probably. I'd say, even more when you think of the amount of staff and acts
and the traffic then getting out of it, Gemma, of course, you had no tents to take down.
No, we were,
great. Pack up and out.
We were very lucky with this, because I suppose for us going to County Laois and the exit that everybody was getting off for Stradbally, because we were glamping down the road a little bit, they had given us directions to go in a different route. Now we had to.
You needn't announce that on air now.
It's on their website, it's fine. But I suppose for us, we had no traffic going in. From the motorway, we were there in 6 minutes or so, and it was really, really handy. And the same then Monday morning, I know a few people had trouble getting out of the car parks. They were sitting for a little bit of time.
Yeah, I've heard of that over the years.
Yeah, because it is like the roads are single car roads. It's like
they're country roads.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not catering for that.
No, and you understand that. And for us, I suppose we were up and out early Monday morning and down the road, so we'd no issues at all. And obviously, it's an hour and a half from Scariff, which is good. It's not far at all. So you don't mind the journey at all. Yeah. You're just trying to get home and into bed. Put on a wash.
You're definitely selling it anyway.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. It just sounded fantastic.
It was lovely to hear the other side of it, because as we've said, we were talking about it is we only ever hear, I won't say the bad side of it, but the rough side of it, you know, as in rough muck and dirt and that, you know, going on with your cape and everything. But it sounds, you know, you really had a ball.
We did, and we got lucky with the weather like that. There was a bit of rain, but it didn't stop us in our tracks at all. We didn't. I wore the wellies for fashion one of the days. They're a nice yellow colour, but I didn't need them. I didn't need I didn't need them. They were just for fashion. But we had a really good time. And look, you can get unlucky some years. 2022 was a bit of a washout with the weather. There was a lot of people that packed up and went home that year because
but look, that's you know,
this is Ireland.
But exactly, and
when you buy the ticket, you know that it can happen.
Buy the ticket, and buy a raincoat.
And I suppose we should say, you know, we were talking about there, it is sold out. But I mean, one of my daughters, only one daughter, she was able to get tickets maybe the week before. So tickets do become available coming up to it for different reasons. People can't go or whatever. You know, but just be careful where you buy them. Obviously,
absolutely. I suppose that's a big thing to stress, is just to be really mindful of, if you are trying to buy tickets later next year, that's the amount of scamming and things that we saw trying to get tickets for people that wanted to come was just unbelievable. It's really, really hard.
And you're talking about big money, like.
Yeah, exactly. So I suppose just to be, you know, there is a lot of tips and tricks there for making sure that you're buying from a legitimate person, or you can rebuy. If anyone wants to sell their tickets, they sell them back through Ticketmaster, and that's a really safe way to do it. And ideally, you're buying off someone that you know, like I suppose your daughter did as well. So you knew then that they were legitimate. So just to be really, really vigilant of that, because there is a lot of it, unfortunately. But tickets will come available. Just to keep an eye out for that. You can watch on social media and things like that.
Okay, maybe we'll go. They'd love to see us all, I reckon, wouldn't they? Listen, Gemma, it was an eye opener. It was very informative, I suppose the word. Really interesting now to hear it. And it sounds as if you had a great weekend.
We did. It was about Thursday afternoon. I kind of felt a bit normal again. I was like, okay, I'll do a bit of work now. It was kind of just a lot of floating around for a couple of days trying to manage, but it was great. You got me at a good time now, because I'm a week over it. So if you asked me Monday or Tuesday, I wouldn't be saying.
Listen, Gemma, thanks so much for coming in to talk to us this morning about your experience Electric Picnic, and looking forward to next year already.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gemma. Take care. Thank you.